Hello. Hello friends, and welcome to this lesson. And in this lesson, our focus will be on division properties. We are going to take a look at a division property called the distributive property. We are going to learn its importance and how we can use it in solving division problems. Let's begin. Now, let's do a reminder of what division is. Here we have 16 boxes, and we are going to share the 16 boxes to two groups. So it's like saying 16 divides 2. Now, if we are to share the 16 boxes into two groups, we'll have to do it one after the other. The first goes to the first group, the second to the second group, and we'll continue this process of sharing until all our 16 boxes are in a group. So, at the end of our sharing activity, we found out that each group has 8 boxes. Each group contains 8 boxes. So 16 divides 2 equals 8. So generally, division is all about sharing. Sharing a dividend by a divisor to get a quotient. Now, let's move over to our main focus, the distributive property of division. Now, if we have a number 20 plus 4 divides 2, if you notice 20 plus 4 is in a group, and the group is closed by a parenthesis. So, how are we to solve this problem? 20 plus 4 divides 2, it's same as having each dividend divided by 2. Let me explain. You have 20 plus 4 in a group, and the group divides 2. Now, this is also the same as saying 20 divides 2 plus 4 divides 2. That is, you separated the group, giving each dividend a divisor. If we are going to continue solving this equation, 20 plus 4 equals 24. If we continue on the right side, 20 divides 2 plus 4 divides 2. 20 divides 2 gives us 10, and 4 divides 2 gives us 2. On the left side, 24 divides 2. That's where we are now. And on the right side, we can add up these two groups. So we have 10 plus 2. We just removed the group because it's just one number in the group, so there's no need having the parentheses again. 24 divides 2 is 12. And if you check the right side, you find out that 10 plus 2, which was what we got from our division in the earlier step, 10 plus 2 gives us 12. So using the distributive property of addition makes addition much simpler. Now let's take another example. We have 10 plus 5 divides 5. If we are to follow the distributive property of addition, we are going to say 10 divide 5 plus 5 divide 5. Each member of the group now has its own divisor, which is 5. 10 has 5 dividing it. 5 also have 5 dividing it. To make progress and to see that both ends are the same, if we continue in our left hand side, you can see 10 plus 5 gives us 15, and you're having 15 divide 5. On the right side, 10 divide 5 plus 5 divide 5. So what is 10 divide 5? We know 10 divide 5 is 2, and 5 divide 5 is 1. So you have 2 plus 1. Now, removing the grouping or the parentheses, we have on the left side 15 divides 5, and on the right side we have 2 plus 1. Now 15 divided 5 is 3, and 2 plus 1 is also 3. So using the distributive property is a good way to solve division problems. It makes division problems easier to approach and you won't get confused. Now when you're having several groups adding, and at the end of the grouping you're asked to divide the result or the sum of that group with a particular divisor, it's wise if you split those addends into several groups with their divisor. That is, using the distributive property to solve division problems makes it easier for us to arrive at our answer. Now let's take our last example. You have 20 divide 5. 20 divide 5. Now there is no group here and we are not having any group to work with, but 20 divide 5. 20, we can split 20 into 15 and 5. So if we split 20 into 15 and 5, 15 plus 5 makes 20. So splitting 20 into 15 and 5 and giving each person or each number the divisor, which is 5. So you have 15 divides 5, and that's in a group, plus 5 divides 5, the second group. Now if we follow our distributive property properly and continue in our calculations of each group, we find out that 15 divides 5 gives us 3, and 5 divides 5 gives us 1. Removing the grouping or the parentheses, we have 3 plus 1, and 3 plus 1 equals 4. So 20 divided 5, we arrived at 4 using the distributive property, and if you solve 20 divided 5 in a calculator, you arrive at 4. Using this distributive property in solving division problems makes our division approach easy and faster. Now when dividing a number, or when you're trying to split a number, ensure that the numbers you will produce could be easily divided by your divisor. For example, I could split 20 into 11 and 9, but 11 can't properly divide 5, and as well as 9, it can't properly divide 5, so I'll struggle in that calculation. But 15 and 5 makes it easier for me to solve by using distributive property. 15 can easily and properly divide 5 without a remainder, and 5 could also properly divide 5 without a remainder. So when splitting your numbers into smaller pieces, ensure that they could divide into the divisor without remainders. This is what makes distributive property work. Here are some activities for you. Solve the various problems using the distributive property of division. See you in my next class. Bye.